Okay, I do believe that I am live and streaming. Let me check that real quick. Okay. I should have all this ready to go. Says I'm live now. Okay. Let me click it. Says I'm live now. And I hear myself. Okay. Let me mute that. I hope the music is not too loud. So how's everybody faring while they shelter in place? Okay, I'll leave it right here. That way I can see that it does say I'm live, and actually I'm going to go back over here. I'll just leave it about this. Okay, so yeah, I hope everybody is doing well, being well, thinking well. While sheltering in place. Quarantine, lockdown. Whatever your fancy is. Okay. I'm working on getting one of those to keep the pop on the microphone. Take a little longer. Shipping's not as fast. I'm starting to get a little nervous about the mailing system. Oh, ooh-wee. Okay, let's do this and do this. Okay, I am back. It was my intention last night or early this morning to keep talking, but then my router, my modem, it decided to reset. And by that time, I felt like I just needed to go to sleep, which I didn't even get to do that because you have to wait a little while after the stream is over, at least I do, to kind of tidy it up or do anything that you need to do. Download it if you need to. Edit it. Anyway. I wanted to come back and continue the conversation that I started. I'm running on empty. I can hear Jackson Brown. Not really in my mind. You actually can hear what I hear, which is Wings of a Dream, from a CD that was titled Mystic Dreams, a collection, I guess. I don't know if I don't think it's all the same artist because they have a little bit different sound. Anyway, I like this music. It's good stuff. Trying to keep my mind at peace and calm things are kind of confusing right now, if you haven't noticed. There's a lot of confusion. I see it. I mean, I don't want to talk about confusion, though. Where was I? I've been talking. My whole point of starting the video, the stream last night, 1 minute before midnight, was the whole mask. The issue of a mask, wearing a mask. I again will reiterate that I think and feel and believe that I felt that back in February, fairly early in February, that what is now happening as far as a lockdown goes should have went ahead and been implemented. I mean, if I was seeing a situation that was unfolding, I know there has to be people within some administration somewhere that know and have a much better view of it than I have. Yeah, February, that's when I would have went ahead and just did it. I mean, we did it anyway. What's the only thing that would have been different is the numbers of infected. Now on my Facebook page, I just posted my local update, which I've watched grow. It was 1 when I first went there, and then the next day it was like already 2. And over the days, week, it's now at 27. And each time they update it, that number is a bigger number. It's not going down, like becoming smaller number. So that's happening where I'm at. Not in a big city. I imagine there's a lot of cities where maybe it's not even there. It probably isn't even there. Although, I don't know, man. Woman. It's like this is the only thing that's happening right now, really. At least in my mind. And I imagine it's like that for most. And heavy on the mind. This is happening. People are getting sick. My thing is, from the previous stream, is the alarm bell going off with this whole asymptomatic element of carrying the virus and not knowing you have it. You don't know unless you've been tested. It's like getting to that point while we're waiting for people to be tested, and waiting for people to get sick, give you a reason to test them. You don't know, and it's like it does not take much time to be spreading. You know, just think about, okay, you now have it. Woke up, and by lunch say by lunch, that's when you caught it. So by lunch, in the end of the day, how many people would you have been interacting with if you had not been in some kind of a lockdown, just kind of going through your day as you normally would? And even after the lockdown, many people still went about the day, for the most part. Call up your friends on the phone. Hey man, this is wild. Hey, you want to come over? I'm just saying. The speed at which it seems to travel, the potential is there, and it's growing as we understand more. California we're not anywhere near where New York is or other places in the world, but we're just getting started. If what we have been seeing is what's happening, then it's going to happen here. It's already happened. The infection has already out there. The containment part of it is the most important part. That's where you put the people into their homes and say, stay there. And you give them a mask. I'm just saying, they don't do any wrong. That one just kind of blows my mind, that kind of a thing under this kind of a scenario wouldn't be like one of the top items on a list to have in an emergency from the government. I mean, don't we pay people to like figure this kind of stuff out? Tax dollars spent? Again, I'm just saying, something to think about. I'm wondering right now, really heavily, because there's so many other elements to what is transpiring. I haven't looked at the news really all that much today. I kind of put a pause on the news yesterday, midday, and began to shift gears. I wanted to stream, which I'm doing right now. And thanks for being here. If you made it this far, you're here with me. My name is Joseph Earl Walker III. And this channel here, this space, is Dreaming Reality with God and music. And you, and me, and everyone who chooses. This is a wild journey. I'm going to make the best of it. Find reason and understanding, no matter what happens, no matter what is happening. It has not steered me away from a dream that I have been carrying with me most of my life, if not my entire life. Mask. Everyone, when they go outside, when they interact with other people, especially healthcare, anything to do with healthcare, I don't want to think about that. I have if you visit my Facebook page, you'll see my little note that I have there about yesterday. And mask and healthcare, home healthcare, right now, and those masks. I was already frustrated by the mask issue. And anyway, that's something else entirely. Everybody should have not only been placed in shelter, but the issue of masks should have been addressed. And I don't think that that's as complicated as it had to be. I don't think it's as much we needed to distribute masks to each and every person. Not immediately. It's what you do is, where are these people going? Okay? And you're going to go to the grocery store. Well, you can't go into the grocery store. Sorry. That's just the way it is right now. Hopefully it will pass quickly. We'll see. But for now, if you want entry, you have to wear this mask. And they should have, that's where you would have got a mask. Seems logical to me. Any places where you want to have some form of business, as that's what's happening, then the mask should be provided there for entry. I go so far as to say the businesses themselves that should be a part of the business or owner's responsibility, as wild as that sounds. Now, who would have ever thought we'd be all standing where we are right now? Stuck. Kinda, sorta. You've been thinking about this moment that you're in right now? Because I haven't. Not this. I've been trying to avoid this moment. Because what's happening right now is bigger than just the virus. The whole money, the financial market. Drama that's playing out there. That's why I say, have said, and will mention often on my Facebook page, that we're never going to go back to the way that it was before, to that life, that daily routine. It's almost a habit, an expectation even, that's not going to be there. I hear it's going to be a while, but it'll come back. It'll come back. It's just going to take a while. It's going to take all of us working together. Yeah, I get that. I understand that frame of mind. Putting that message out there. Nothing wrong with it. Just like there's nothing wrong with wearing a mask. It only does good. It does. There is no bad at all that wearing a mask does. This is crazy what's happening right now. The government's about to pass out $1,200. This government that I'm under, United States of America, which I love. It's all I've ever known. But I have my concerns. I'll put it that way. That's the polite way of addressing it. Where I stand, I have concerns, and they're growing with the way things are handled, the viewpoint carried and held. This did not have to be how it's playing out. Had we just done it back in February, I say mid-February, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. This is how much we love you. Just remember that. Next Valentine's Day. No, that wasn't the path. That was not the path that we chose, our government, our leaders chose to follow. I watched early on, fairly, middle of January. I was seeing it as it was beginning to come onto the internet with the images of Wuhan. They're closing it down, shutting it down. Everybody go home right now. Close your door. It was nuts. They were out there all suited up and they're spraying. They're spraying the streets all over. I'm like, wow, that's pretty heavy. This must be some, you know what? That's a good thing. I'm thinking, well, that's a good thing. I mean, because I know, or at least I'm thinking in my mind, as I'm seeing this, they're spraying stuff to kill, get rid of. Some kind of bleach, I imagine. Form. Anyway, that's what it takes, and that's what they're doing. So I'm thinking, well, that they're getting rid of it. They still have to deal with the people that are carrying it and have it, and you don't know until you test them or they get sick, and the signs are obvious. Ooh. So yeah. The U.S. had to have known when I was seeing this stuff. Back in January. They had to. So, what happened? I guess this is, you have to try to make sense out of it, and you know, why is it all the way over, all around the world? Especially after you see what they did over in China, the measures, the extreme measures, the lockdown, quarantine, the dusting or the spraying of the streets. Let's kill this thing, wipe it out. The rapid speed at which they built hospitals. That was like, in my mind, there was just so many flags going off. It's like, woohoo, over here, look what's happening, guys. Yeah. You don't do that every day. This must be pretty big. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm still going. It's all a little pause there. Make sure, yeah, I'm still alive. Yeah, you don't see a lot of what's going on every day. It's wild. Instant shutdown. Back when the first images of there's a virus breaking out, that we're building hospitals, that right there is, there's a lot of people. The numbers are big if you're building hospitals. No inbound traffic, just all the borders. You just come to a close, a stop. You have to. It's all the money. It's all. It's common sense doesn't run this world. Bank accounts run this world. Make the decisions. That's just the way it is. Although I think it's going to change. This is clearly changing the dynamics of what's happening right now in the world. Everybody's on shutdown. While you and I are standing still, there's others that are moving around and they're in motion and they're planning. So yeah, at least by the middle of February, we should have went ahead and just shut down. Said, you know what? This is going to be a hard one. They should have been able to project out to March and April and say to themselves, okay, if this does get bigger, we're going to try to stop it now. It's all we can do at this point. It's here. But we're going to try to stop it. But if by March we see the numbers at a certain place, we're going to go ahead then and shut down and begin sheltering in place. That just makes no sense. To me, it just seems like we have systems in place, checks and balances, and we're only talking about a couple of months here out in this kind of a scenario, this kind of a situation that was in our face from my standpoint, as early as the middle of January, because that's when I started to tune in. It was already there. This has been happening as far back into December, possibly November, who knows. Had we gone into the shutdown that we chose to do in March, into April, back in February, the situation would be, it wouldn't grow to the potential that is there now, which is not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. And sure, that's not going to be as awful as it could have been, because at some point we did put a shelter in place order, began to lock down. Although we're lacking in a mask, that one just befuddles me. I can't wrap my mind around why people have their I know there's the people that feel like it's all a part of it. It's like a sort of psyop of power and control to force you to do something, like you putting that mask on. From their eyes, they're laughing at you, saying, thinking, ha 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 ha, look what we made him do or her do. We controlled that situation. That's the kind of drama that many subscribe to, and I get it, and I understand that element. Whether that's what's happening, that's the case, I'm not so sure. I think it's much bigger. I think it's much simpler. And at the same time, I say that I think it involves everything. Everything is happening. There ain't no piece that's spared. I mean, you don't put all of this is one big gigantic puzzle. And when you put all in pieces, might add that. And when you put a puzzle together, I've never put a puzzle together where I threw out the pieces. Any pieces. I needed all the pieces. That's kind of a hard one, I think, I guess, for a lot of people to grasp what they're thinking when they think about that, because you have to look at things differently than the way we have. You can't pick and choose for you. We're all in this together, or we're all alone in this together. Pick or choose if you must. It's all crazy. It's the last song I left on my Facebook page. I like to listen to music before I stream. It's kind of my routine, my method to get where I feel I need to be, to stand here and just let it be. I can only imagine what some coming across this video, looking at me up here, say or think. And it's not all pretty, but I'm kind of beyond that. I'm not kind of, I am beyond that. My mind is on this whole new plane, and I see all the pieces to the puzzle, and it just seems and feels like quicker and quicker, more rapidly, the pieces are falling into place. Which that makes sense from where I stand, where my mind, the path that I've been on and following, my dream. Everybody needs to wear a mask when they go out, if they can, if they have one. I wasn't going out. I managed to get a couple. There's a part of me that doesn't like wearing them, in the sense that I don't want to go out and have people look at me. Now, if I put on like something that's just like this high tech, which I spent some money early on, because I've been thinking about this since January. But I don't know. See, why did the president get up there and treat the issue of the mask felt like with just carelessness. He was just so nonchalant about it. This is supposed to be a leader of peoples. And this thing, and I keep hearing the wartime president, and I'm thinking, well, this is a war, and he keeps emphasizing that. And so why not treat it as such? Be an example. I mean, that's, to me, I've always, from as young as I can remember, that's the image of the president that I have carried in my mind. That's what a president does. Project an image to the people, to show them the hope, not just words out of the mouth. Be the words. Don't act them. Be the words. It's unreal. Everybody should wear a mask. And I'll say it again. I said it in the last one. President yesterday, when he made this announcement that the CDC had said this recommendation about masks, he should have come out with a mask. And he should have put it on and talked about it. You know, look how I'm doing it. Show them. Should have passed one to all the people that are standing beside him. Should have had someone handing them out to the reporters in the room if they needed one. Oh my. It don't take a rocket scientist to know what will come of that. How can that be bad? How can wearing a mask be bad? Except for maybe your ego, your pride. I'm tired of this control issue that unless you know something, Mr. President, that I don't and we don't. Is this real? Is there something more to this whole situation that's happening right now that we don't know about? I know. Here. I'll put it this way. I'm standing here and I'm listening to you talk about this recommendation. And you're not going to wear a mask, and it's a choice. And I'm thinking, it doesn't matter then. Nobody should wear a mask. That's what you're saying. That's the image that I get. I understand it's a choice. Do the right thing. This is a war. And you, Mr. President, are standing in the middle of the battlefield. Do you not think it prudent that you be wearing a mask? Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. This is crazy. $1,200 though is gonna make it go away. You can't go nowhere to spend money. I don't even want to touch money anymore. The whole idea of touching money, I've been that way for many, many years. I don't like touching it. I worked in a 7-Eleven decades. It's been And it did not take long before my hands would break out into a rash when I would get to work and start dealing with the money, the tender, the paper stuff. It was awful. I had to buy this stuff called liquid glove. I'd rub it on. It was like a glove. It was quick and easy. I wish I had some of that stuff right now. That would be like perfect. At least it'd help. You go outside if you don't have gloves. This little tube, liquid glove. I can't remember where I bought it. It must have been like a hardware store. Anyway, yeah, money. Money is awful, nasty, it's dirty. It's and what do they do with the money they put into like an ATM machine? Do they like put it through some kind of a bleaching process, just something to disinfect it before they put it in there with intent to distribute it out to those coming to call? I think it's a valid and important question to ask, because I have some concern right now. Hopefully it'll all pass. It's gonna be a hiccup. And it's not. We already know that we're gonna be in our place, our sheltering, till the end of April. You think it's gonna stop, be at the end? I don't. This is going to take months. And again, I'm not, as the virus begins to fade, because it'll run its course. And you got to wait for round 2, because it'll be back. But while it is fading away, all this other stuff that's happening is intensifying. It's not fading away. All this money that's being created and distributed out, which I still have issues. That whole thing just seems nutty too. Like, there's no sense. Crazy. They say one thing and then they say another thing. It keeps being updated, and the things that should be just so simple, almost from the get-go. Like take Social Security. My mother, I want to make sure that my mother gets a piece of the pie that's being distributed out. And so I've been checking them, and it says you have to go to the IRS to do this. People that are on SSI, any other program of government that the government provides. You go to the IRS, and the IRS is, you need to file taxes, which is something that the majority of people, I would think, on SSI don't file, because they don't make enough money with what SSI gives them. It's nowhere near whatever the $75,000 is. So they don't file taxes, but now they're being told they have to file taxes. Why? All these people on Social Security and any of these other programs, they are already connected to the system. Their account, their bank is already connected. Their Social Security, it's all connected automatically every month to the system. So, well, that's just what? I mean, what are you like trying to create a job for somebody to make money? Give them. I don't understand. And then it changed. And the IRS said, oh, no. Those people are not. We already have that information. And I was like, okay. And I've been like telling my mom back and forth, you may need to find this tax form that the government sends people on SSI to file the taxes. And then I'm telling her, no, you don't need them. Don't worry about it. Got enough going on right now. And then I heard somebody else talking about it, that I got the impression they seem to know. They're looking, trying to find answers and sharing it on YouTube. And that person was saying, that, wait a minute, I said this earlier, that this is what the IRS said, but there's like this weird fine print little area that kind of just clouds the water and leaves you with uncertainties, because it's like, yeah, some people will on SSI, but those that don't will have to file this a tax return using that form they sent you. So I have no idea. I haven't looked into that since. I gotta give them a few days to try to figure all that out. It makes no sense. I want to be able to tell my mom once and for all, don't worry about it. Just you'll get it into your bank account whenever they start auto direct depositing. Then you can do whatever. Government wants you to spend it, pay your bills, as if none of this happened. Just kind of, all that stuff that's going on right now. Just kind of put that in the back room for a moment, close the door, and here's this money. You can do whatever you want with it. We recommend you use it wisely. Anyway. I wonder what it's going to be like in May. Do you? I know we're just now entering into April, but I just went through March. I feel like I want to talk about E.T. for some. I want to just chill out, and relax, calm down. Everything's gonna be okay. Why E.T.? Because I suppose it's our best. It's our best bet, our best chance. Because I don't know, mankind is stuck. Is this moment right now going to be the moment, a pivot in time, and we finally get it? I'd like to imagine that everybody out there who's sheltering in place is making the best of it, but I'm thinking about those people that have another to be with, because I'm here alone. I don't live with anybody. Since I was 21 on, majority of my life I've lived alone, so that's not like something that I'm used to being alone. And I also don't get out much. I prefer to be alone and spend my time focused on understanding, reaching for the answers we're all searching for. Finding those magic words that when one hears them, it's that an aha moment. Aha, I get it. That's right. That's true. But I'm also thinking about those people that do have others to pass the time away with. Like a situation of family. Because I was in family. I grew up as a little boy. Had mom, dad, brother, sister. So I know that whole experience. So I'm imagining those people, those situations, or roommates, close friends that live together, companions, those people, they're all of them, I imagine, spending this time and the things that they're being allowed to do that normally they would not have. This is going to be, and is, a unique time of bonding. I remember those times when I was a young child, playing board games, putting puzzles together. Granted, you can't really get out and do things, but there's plenty to do inside, together as a group. Just talking. Playing cards. And talking. Laughing. Getting to know one another more. Now, yeah, we have the internet, which is a strange technology. Never in my wildest dreams when I was a little boy back in the 70s. And I had my dreams and hopes of a world where everybody was a part of a dream that I have. But I never imagined this moment now, where we're all so connected. We all got our phone, good majority of us, and we're connected to one another instantly. You can say anything you want. You can take a picture of anything you want, yourself, here, wherever, and send it in an instant. I never imagined that back in the mid-70s, when I was very curious about the world. I wanted something like that kind of an ability, but I had enough understanding of what was happening in the world as a young boy, 8, 9, 10 years old, to feel pretty confident that that didn't seem like something we would ever have. It was make-believe, like things you watch on TV. And here we are, it's happening. And it only progresses. So you have that, you can stay together, you can keep in touch through something like this. Definitely it makes it easier. It gives me the ability to do this right now. Get up here and share, talk. While all this is happening. this crazy, crazy time. So yeah, why not bring ET into this intelligence? God, I see God as intelligence, the intelligence, all intelligence. And I feel that this intelligence thrives on love. That's like its fuel. It needs love to be. I think that E.T. knows this. Maybe it's like it is here, and you've got two sides to everything, to which you have to make another choice, which is something we're all good at. We all know how to make a choice. So I would choose ETs that follow love, are looking to add to love, to bring their love to the source of love. Love that has always been, forever, has no beginning, has no end, it has no creation, no creator, simply is. There's no debate. It's over. It's ended. Love is at its source. Simply is. I see that as God. That would be God. That idea, that thought, that knowing. And if I were to picture this, try to picture it. See, all you can do is you use metaphors. But if I try to picture it, then I picture this God, this love, this source as a point. It's a point. And it is surrounded by love, wall, armor, so to speak. Protects, nourishes this point that has always is just there. It never leaves that state, never ventures beyond the barriers, the walls, whatever, however you want to imagine that. It is where it is. It has to remain where it is, because that's what it is. Now, you and I, we're clearly not at the source. We're not at the point. That one point. We're out there on the fringes. It's cloudy out there. And I think we're looking in the right direction, because that helps. I think two directions you can be looking, forwards or backwards. We've been looking backwards. We really have for a long time. I mean, an evidence of it, I feel, for me, is seeing a president. I don't care what president, any president, at any time in history, standing in front of peoples and saying, we have a health situation happening, And these people who we're connected to, that work towards understanding what's taking place, are saying wear a mask. Good thing. All you can do is good. Help stop the spread. And then and then say it's you can choose. It's a choice, and I choose not to wear one. I'm working on getting a stand for the mic too. That way I don't have to be over here so close to the microphone where the camera is. I'm starting to wander now in my thoughts. How long have I been here? An hour. Thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these as I do them, and I'm going to take clips out of the two that I've done, this one and the one from last night or earlier, and then put those all together and put it up. I hope everybody's well. I hope you're using the time to think about things you normally wouldn't. Because you can. You have the time right now. And at least where I'm at in California, nobody's, for the most part, is out there. They're all at home. You're working a bank. You're working. Gots to there because the money's got to keep flowing. Grocery stores. Liquor stores. Convenience stores. Which I'm not quite sure I understand. Yeah, pot dispensaries are open. Which I was kind of surprised. And when I first heard, the country or the states going into this sort of lockdown, I started imagining the different places that would be and not be open, and that was not a place that I saw as being open. But then I guess I understand after I thought about it, because there's a lot of people that use it as a medicine. It does help. And so what do you say to those people? Well, you say it's open. Take your chance, just like everybody else when they go out into the public. I'm a little nervous about going out into the public. That's why I stay home. If I don't have to go out, I don't. But at times I do. I'm going to have to get some more water. I am going to have to do that. I have a pitcher. I filter it. I'd like to have a better system for that if I was going to drink from the tap. I'd like to use some of my 1200 maybe on something like that. Definitely worth it. Good water filtration system. Nothing super fancy. It's just me here, so yeah. I'll have to check that out. See what's out there for the moment. I can imagine, I'm imagining all these people getting this money, and a lot of them are going to get online because you can't go anywhere. Can't go anywhere really to buy stuff other than like food or stuff at the liquor store, convenience stores. So yeah, you're gonna get online and just buy stuff. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's because I feel like this is just starting. This is just the beginning. And there's no quick fix. There's no easy fix to this. This is, in a way, this is something I've been dreaming about for quite a while, because a long, long time ago I came to the conclusion that there's a problem in the world. I was in my early 20s, having my awakening, my realization, what I wanted in my life. And I looked and saw the world and said to myself, it's impossible. It's impossible to change the system, because I told myself that I knew what the problem was. The money. The money. The way money is used. How it's expressed. One's worth. There's no equality. It really isn't. It's a gamble. It's a chance. Every single person is not guaranteed equality. So money is the root. You got a lot of other stuff going on, yeah, very aware. But that's at the heart of so much, if not all of it, is money. That kind of power that does exist to control and manipulate our world. Money needs to fall, to collapse, needs to be removed from the equation. How do you do that? Because if you did that, then the system would collapse. It would fall apart without it. Exactly. That's the point. That's what would happen. That's what needs to happen. Because when you're at that point, you are forced without any other choice but to make a new choice. You gotta do something. You're gonna go back to the way it was? Really? It was going really that good. Look where we're at. Everything that happened prior to this moment has led us to this moment right now, right here. So do you really want that? I don't. So I see something like this as an opportunity, yeah. And I'm not looking at it from some maniacal mind hell-bent on world domination. Personally, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to sail away. UFO, whatever. My mind, close my eyes, and poof. As the world unveils itself, I'm not put into a state of mind of happiness. This is the place to be. It's more and more of this is not the place to be. That's the sad thing. I love this. I love everywhere. There's no reason why this world is in the condition that it's in right now. None. Absolutely no reason. The only thing that prevents the future, a possibility, is you. And the choices you choose. I mean, you choose what you're going to do next. You know, you're gonna click the stop button, look and go and find another video, watch somebody else, or you're going to continue to watch. That's a choice. What are you going to do after that and after that? It's never ending. Without it, you just come to a stop. Stand still. Which I think that's where we're at. This world. Clearly, I'm sheltering in place. Maybe I'm just going mad. Too much time on my hands. Hope you all listen to the music. Music is so important. I'm going to wind this down. I'd like to keep them around an hour, I think. Last night, or early the morning one, was an hour and 43 minutes, and I was going to keep on going. So who knows how long that one would have been had I not had the disconnect from the internet. But I think an hour. I'd like to keep doing these more. I feel like I'm getting closer. I want to talk about 5G a lot more than I have, because I'm realizing so much about not just the 5G, but how the energy works and how it's affecting us. And I know I'm not the only one that knows these things and thinks these thoughts. But for me, it's like, wow, it's just putting so much more into perspective. I needed that. Everything happens though for a reason, because like the virus and where I was with myself, with my relationships, as the virus was just beginning to take off, and I was in my mind having my things, I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't doing good. And I can't explain it. I wasn't in a happy frame of mind. But that doesn't even belong here. I want to keep this mainly corona type stuff, and it is everything that I'm sharing. You know, my mind, being here, being by myself, not going outside, and thinking about everything that's happening, and it's all crazy. I wanted to talk about ET, but that too, I feel like I need to do. That needs to be on its own. I have so many videos, and I've still been doing work on the God. I started putting those up here. A couple up, 2 up, and been working on 3. A lot slower though, and all of this did not make it easier. It put a lot of it forced me to change my perspective on things. Where I was is I'm no longer am. But it's all good. I wish you all well, and smile. Smiling is that's the best medicine. I mentioned that to a new friend earlier, that smiling, that love with a smile, I mean, that's it. That's all you need. You can move mountains. Love you. Thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment. And I'll do my best to get back to you. Be well. It's a crazy time. Be safe. And use caution.